Disclaimer, this is audio horror fiction. If darkness or the creatures it holds scares you, leave now. Still listening? Good, then let's begin. A cacophony of banging and moaning from the cellar snapped Ravis Trellin from his daydream. He jolted, and in reaction straightened his leg with a kick, pushing himself away from the wooden table and jostling its surface. The ale in his mug frothed onto the table, and his beloved's glass vase spilled the wilting flowers as it tipped over and rolled towards the table's edge. Ravis stood quickly, knocking his chair to the floor and reached for the vase. But in his weary state he could do nothing but watch in horror as it tumbled across the edge and shattered upon the wooden floor. The banging from beneath him ceased, but the moaning softly continued. Water from the spilled vase dripped methodically through the soaked planks into the dirt floor below. He stared at the shards of glass, wondering if he would slowly lose everything of hers until only the memory of how she was before remained. His attempts at brainstorming about how best to handle the current enormity eventually drifted into images of his beloved before the nightmare began. Her ivory smile shining between ruby lips, her skin so flushed, soft and alive, and her hair as golden as the dawn. Those pleasant images nearly lulled him to sleep until reality battled its way back to the surface. More than 50 hours passed since he last slept. More than 50 hours since his beloved returned to him. Since that moment, Ravis did little more than struggle to keep up, and he had even less time to dwell on how he couldn't take back his wish. He never expected anyone to listen, but whether it was the work of a twisted mage or the cruel trick of some ancient deity, something had listened. And when, on his knees, he pleaded with agony into the frigid night, it answered. Lamp in hand, Ravis stumbled out of his shack and deeply inhaled the fresh night air. He exhaled in a sigh, creating a fog with his breath in the frosty dark. He raised his lantern, illuminating the stream like a ghost trying desperately but futilely to bar his way forward. He walked through it towards the slanted cellar doors and threw them open. "I'm sorry," he whispered as he descended, offering a new apology with each step. "I'm sorry for everything that's happened. For your suffering, for my wish, for everything." He averted his eyes from her and only heard her gurgled breathing. He could not again see her hair mottled and caked with blood, her fingers and nails raw from clawing at the door, her skin now ashen and bruised, and her lips still red, but with flesh stuck in her teeth from her last victim. "I'm so sorry," he said again to his beloved, staring longingly at the soft flame in the lantern. He did not see that she had broken her bonds until it was already too late. Thank you all so much for listening. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to leave a like and subscribe and share to help feed the dark machine.